A lot of issues emerged with the new LIV Golf Tour. Problems with the distribution of a $4 million, £3.2 million first prize in a tournament that features a shotgun start. There will be no way of knowing if the winning putt at the Centurion Club on Saturday will be held on the 1st, 7th, or 13th or any other green. Perhaps the conventional hit-play format used on main tours is boring to some, but at least people know where to stand for the denouement. These are just a few of the mishaps of the new league, and now the defectors are under fire. This and more in today's video. Kicking us off, Dustin Johnson's act of greed stands out in vulgar Saudi rebranding game. Confirmation that Graham McDowell and Dustin Johnson would feature in the $25 million event sparked the kind of backlash that was inevitable given bottomless financing from Saudi Arabia's public investment fund. The Royal Bank of Canada ended its sponsorship of both players. Golf, once such a safe domain for the corporate classes, now carries an element of risk as never before. A number of players have been sheltered by focus on Phil Mickelson, whose dalliances with the Saudis are the stuff of dubious legend, and, to a subsequent extent, Johnson. But when they tee up in the coming days, their role in a sports-washing exercise will be abundantly clear. This cannot legitimately be labeled in any other terms. There is no commercial sense whatsoever in dishing out wild sums to those who are either marking time until the senior tour, would not turn heads in any high street in the UK, or in Johnson's case, whose PGA Tour earnings from the game total around $72 million, have torched their reputation by such a grotesque display of greed. Golfers are willing pawns in Saudi's rebranding game, which is a great pity for the sport's reputation. There will be intrigue around what LIV can deliver. That it is staging a tournament at all confounds many skeptics. There are no world ranking points available, unhelpful ticket prices, and no mainstream television outlet to offer coverage. The competition lasts 54 holes and has a pro-am event. In short, this is not exactly marching towards the territory of sporting revolution. For every Johnson, McDowell, Lee Westwood, or Sergio Garcia, there is a Blake Windred, Hudson Swafford, or Jediah Morgan. Last place in the 48-man field is worth $120,000. A team element carries a $5 million prize fund. Players have been informed that a draft party on Tuesday evening will be a casual red carpet event with a touch of LIV audacity. In contrast, there is no prize money for finishing last in a PGA Tour event, and the next tournament on its calendar, the Canadian Open, offers $1.5 million to the winner. The mind boggles. Well, eyes are on Scottish Open as DP World Tour weighs up LIV golf response. The latest move in golf's epic power struggle is likely to see those rebels who have committed to the LIV series prevented from playing in the Scottish Open. Although still to be completely finalized, the sanction is among those expected to be revealed by the DP World, formerly European Tour, in the coming days. The Scottish Open, worth $8 million, £6.5 million in prize money, ordinarily forms a key part of Open build-up for scores of players and is a marquee event on the DP World Tour. Entries close on Thursday. No sooner were shots hit at Hemel Hempstead's Centurion Club on 9 June as the Saudi Arabian-backed LIV staged its first $25 million event than the PGA Tour's commissioner, Jay Monahan, announced immediate and indefinite bans for those participating. Phil Mickelson and Dustin Johnson are included in that group. Bryson DeChambeau will be hit with a similar penalty when he appears in LIV's next tournament, which starts on 30 June in Portland, Oregon. The DP World Tour has yet to lay out its position, with the organization keen to stress there are differences between their circumstances and those of the PGA Tour. One is the responsibility it has to DP World as the principal sponsor. The DP World Tour also has an element of Ryder Cup governance via the European team, which does not apply to the PGA Tour. It remains feasible that the biennial event could bear the brunt of punishments for DP World Tour players who have defected to LIV. These all remain under deep discussion. The Scottish Open, which takes place at North Berwick's Renaissance Club from 7 July, has been a source of widespread intrigue within golf circles given it has co-sanctioned status with the PGA Tour. Participants can earn ranking points in both the DP World Tour's Race to Dubai Order of Merit and the PGA Tour's season-long FedEx Cup Series. Sources have now told The Observer that, barring unforeseen and late changes to policy, LIV participants will be told they are not welcome in East Lothian. The DP World Tour offered no comment on their Scottish Open position when approached. Next, Kevin Na resigns from PGA Tour to avoid conflict with LIV golf event. The scale of disruption caused by the Saudi Arabian-backed LIV Golf Series has been emphasized after Kevin Na announced his resignation from the PGA Tour. The world number 33 will play when the event debuts at the Centurion Club in Herefordshire from Thursday. Rather than face sanctions from the PGA Tour for taking part in the $25 million event, Na has terminated his membership. He said, "For 19 years, years, I've played on the PGA Tour, and I have loved every minute of it. I appreciate the platform the tour has provided me to play the game that I love. Recent developments in the professional golf world have given me a chance to reconsider my options. I would like the freedom to play wherever I want, and exercising my right as a free agent gives me that opportunity. However, to remain a PGA Tour player, I must give up my right to make these choices about my career. If I exercise my right to choose where and when I play golf, then I cannot remain a PGA Tour player without facing disciplinary proceedings and legal action. It remains to be seen how many follow the lead of the 38-year-old. Some may fear potential action from the PGA Tour could affect their ability to feature in majors. Moving on, Greg Norman says PGA Tour guilty of deafening hypocrisy over LIV Series. Greg Norman, the figurehead of the Saudi-backed LIV Golf Series, has defended the competition after widespread criticism from high-profile figures across the sport. Golfers such as Norman, Phil Mickelson, and Dustin Johnson, who have chosen to join the breakaway series, have received criticism because of the human rights abuses carried out by the Saudi regime. The PGA Tour has banned golfers who have joined the LIV Series. During an appearance on Fox News on Saturday, Norman said the decision was hypocritical given the tour's own links with Saudi Arabia. Rory McIlroy, who has been dismissive of the LIV Series, recently took a shot at Norman, saying he had derived particular pleasure from passing the Australians' total of PGA Tour wins. However, Norman said golf had been happy to deal with Saudi Arabia for a number of years. This month, Mickelson was forced to defend himself after families of 9/11 victims attacked his decision to join the breakaway league. Norman insists the league can bring benefits to golf. After its opening event in London, the series moved to the U.S. with tournaments in Portland and Bedminster. The Bedminster course is owned by Donald Trump, currently under investigation for his role in the 6th January attack on the U.S. Capitol. Finally, Phil Mickelson's fall from grace, highlighted by U.S. Open woes. A mere 13 months on from capturing hearts and minds with a glorious U.S. PGA Championship triumph, Mickelson has become a competitive irrelevance. He is destined to never win his National Open, a notable gap in an otherwise iconic career. It is also now a tarnished one. Mickelson's situation is about far more than what sits in his trophy cabinet. He has embarked on such an incredible act of self-sabotage that he was almost pitied as he limped towards the second-round finish line. He reached that point after shooting an error-strewn 73 for an 11 over par total. This marked a third missed cut in Mickelson's last 6 U.S. Open appearances. He also cracked a spectator on the head with his tee shot at the third, which rather summed up his wayward play. Any sense that Mickelson, the poster boy for Saudi Arabia's ongoing golf disruption model, would be heckled at Brookline proved unfounded. "Go get him, Phil," and "You're the man, Phil," were the regular cries. Yet it was all rather subdued, as if those behind the ropes did not exactly know how to frame their attitudes toward the 52-year-old. Mickelson, who is banned from the PGA Tour, looks a diminished character. Behind the sunglasses, there is sadness. He has not covered himself in glory in front of the media, but the $200 million question is whether Mickelson regrets entering negotiations with the Saudis, which by his own admission was a leverage ploy before reaching the point where he had ostracized himself from the PGA Tour. Maybe he does not care. Demeanor and loss of sponsors suggest otherwise. Mickelson will next appear when the LIV Circus, 54 holes, no cut, guaranteed dollars, rumbles into Oregon at the end of the month. By then, he will hope to have resolved glaring putting woes. Beyond that, he has somehow to make peace with himself. On all available evidence at Brookline, he is a long way from reaching that position. Well, guys, unfortunately, that is all the time we had for today. Thanks for sticking with us till the end. Cheers.